This podcast is part of the Michigan Sports and Entertainment Podcast Network. Go to michigansportsandentertainment.com for more great podcasts.
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a bonus episode of
We're Watching Here! We're Watching Here!
This is Opinionated Movie Talk with Chris and Perry. I'm Chris Williams. With me, as always, is Perry Seibert. How you doing, Perry?
I'm great. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm great. We're here for another bonus episode.
We
and
are.
I think what's really fun about this is we're going to talk about a movie you haven't seen. So we'll see how this goes. I get to be the one who's seen something you haven't seen, which is very rare for this podcast. But this is a bonus episode we like to do every once in a while. Right now, you're getting it in the main feed, but pretty soon we'll start moving these over just to the Patreon account, these bonus episodes. So if you want to keep hearing them, go over to Patreon and support us. That helps us get some better technology, cover the cost of movies, things like that. So we appreciate all the support we can get. So today, last time we talked about Take This Waltz, which you picked as kind of an overlooked movie from this decade that you wanted people to pay attention to. And I believe you called it your number one movie of the decade so far.
It's in the running. I don't want to say definitively that because I don't like to commit to something like that. I'm a very cautious man, Chris. But yes, it will certainly be. I can't imagine it won't be in the top three. For surely one of the three best movies of the decade when I make that list in a few months.
My selection will not be.
Okay.
It is not. It is not going to be in contention for the top even 10 of my decade. But it is one of those movies that baffles me and kind of enrages me that people did not pick up on. It has a lot of critical love, but it sank like a stone when it came out, and I don't feel like it's caught on. It is the 2016 comedy Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. This is a mockumentary. It stars The Lonely Island from Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
So Andy Samberg and then Jorma Taccone and Akiva Schaffer. They directed this movie.
Yes.
And it is a mockumentary about a pop star, Connor For Real, who was part of a boy band. And it's set up kind of like a Justin Bieber documentary.
Which there was at the time.
Yep. And it's very meticulously recreating that. Following him as he puts out his new album, which we quickly learn is not going to be the same success of his first one because Rolling Stone deals it the shit emoji instead of any stars. And it's produced by Judd Apatow, so it's pretty much what you would expect from a Lonely Island movie. It is a bunch of very funny, very catchy songs. That are funny. I listened to the soundtrack for this movie over and over in my car still. There is a song about Mona Lisa, going to see the Mona Lisa and discovering she is an overrated piece of shit. There is a song just called the Bin Laden song, which he did premiere on Saturday Night Live, and I'm not sure how, because it's fairly dirty. This is really, it's kind of, and I don't want to say it's like Spinal Tap, because it's got a different feel, whereas that kind of parodied the music docs of that day. This is really pulling from your Justin Bieber documentaries, your Katy Perry, where it's really glossy. There's a lot of social media content.
Yes.
It's pulling from that, and then everything just, of course, goes wrong, because that's what the movie is.
Yes.
And I don't want to say too much more. Like I said, no one saw this movie. I wish people would see it. It's much funnier than I think the previews gave it credit for. I didn't expect much going in. But I would put this right up there with something like Walk Hard, another Judd Apatow music comedy that bombed on release. And I think it's just as funny. It also has a fantastic role, just like Walk Hard, for Tim Meadows. And
excellent.
Maya Rudolph is hilarious in it.
Always.
And
she is a goddess.
Yes.
I adore Maya Rudolph.
It's so funny. I that's really all I can say. I don't want to spoil any of it, but you haven't seen it.
I have never seen it. I will say that I I listen to the Walk Hard soundtrack regularly. I think that's a brilliant piece of work. I like the soundtrack better than the movie.
Okay.
And I think the movie's funny. The movie's too long. But I recently rewatched it. That's the only reason I was like, was this just like I remembered it?
Did you end up watching, there is an unrated director's cut that runs about a half hour longer than the theatrical. I don't think it was that one. I have the Blu-ray of it. I will tell you this, it is worth sitting through the closing credit. It's got the best closing credit cookie of any movie ever. Walk Hard does. It also has the best Bob Dylan parody ever with Royal Kelly. But no, I would see Popstar. I remember seeing trailers. I would give that a shot. I am an SNL junkie. I watch Saturday Night Live to this day with a near religious fervor. I love that show still exists. And I have very strong opinions about Andy Samberg on the show. We'll get to that in a minute.
But I was very interested in this and would have absolutely given it a shot even after the disaster that was,
that's my boy.
Land of the Lost.
Oh. Did they keep his shape?
Yeah.
Holy crap. He also did The Watch, which is terrible.
Yeah. So it's that, it wasn't a stellar filmography going in, but I was like, that's a really good premise. I reviewed all of those awful 3D music docs, and so I would love to see a parody of them. It disappeared too quick. I never got to it, and then I was done. Is it streaming anywhere currently?
I rented it just last night on Amazon.
Okay.
I know it pops up on HBO. I am going to correct you, though.
Oh, is it?
Because
who did Land of the Lost?
Yorma Taccone
was in Land of the Lost. That's my mistake.
Brad Sibberling, who did
Giant
Waste. Yeah. He directed Land of the Lost.
Yes.
Which is worthy of discussion as the weirdest, most ill-advised family film I have ever seen in my life. Yorma Taccone directed MacGruber, which is a movie I love.
Me too.
And another movie that bombed horribly.
Famously. Even more so than this one. This at least disappeared quietly.
Yeah.
MacGruber was an ugly big bomb, and it doesn't deserve that fate at all.
No, I love MacGruber. I would put it up in my at least top 4 of Saturday Night Live movies, maybe higher.
If you have never seen it, and Will Forte is
he's mad.
Some level of mad genius. If you have never seen, it's from the Christmas episode. It's the same Christmas episode of SNL where they premiered Christmas Time for the Jews. The brilliant parody. If you have never seen the Spelling Bee skit, oh my word, from your face, you have not.
I have not.
Oh, well, guess what we're going to be watching, Chris, as soon as we stop recording this.
What I have seen is Will Forte in the potato chip sketch.
Oh, so good.
Which killed me.
So good.
Oh.
So good. Oh, anyway, so yes. MacGruber is a joy to behold.
And I wouldn't put this is not quite as nonstop funny as MacGruber. MacGruber, just thinking about certain sequences from that.
So good.
Makes me laugh.
So good. Another great Maya Rudolph appearance.
Maya Rudolph is fantastic.
Maya Rudolph is a goddess.
And she is really good. She has a very brief role in this, but she sells the heck out of it. She's very funny. Tim Meadows is just, he's one of those guys who pops up, and part of me wishes he had a giant career as a comedic movie star, but part of me thinks he's just perfect showing up in these little roles.
You wouldn't think that if you remember Ladies Man movie.
That's probably true. I just love, he comes in and he just, Walk Hard, same thing. He steals that movie in his small role. And he does that really good here.
He's great in Mean Girls.
Yes.
He's got 3 great scenes in Mean Girls.
Chris Redd, who is a current Saturday Night Live cast member, is in this. And he is very funny as a rapper they pick up. Linking back to 2 previous We're Watching Here episodes, Connor's manager is played by Sarah Silverman.
Oh, yay!
And his mom is played by Joan Cusack, who plays her as the rock star mom who just loves to hang out with the kids and smoke cocaine.
So you got comedic perfection there.
It's great. Like Walk Hard, it also has, probably second to Walk Hard, the funniest dick joke I've seen in it. It's so good. It's so good that it does kind of make up for the fact that I don't know that Andy Samberg plays a personality other than himself in anything I've seen him in. I really like him on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but it's just more personality-wise. He's basically playing Andy Samberg. What's your thoughts on it? I know you.
Yeah, I was. The Lonely Island guys are such a weird niche of SNL history because they really were the ones that dragged them into the digital age.
Yeah.
With Lazy Sunday, and for that reason, I always liked that was their niche. Like, I didn't need him to be on the show, and he never seemed to feel the need to be in sketches.
He never really
understood what he did.
Yeah.
In a way that I really respected. And I like, and much of the Lonely Island stuff I really enjoyed. I will listen to, what's the name of it? I can't even remember the name of the album now. The Lonely Island album, the most recent. Incredibad is what it is, which I greatly enjoy and will listen to and think those are really good pieces of work. Aside from the visuals, I think they're really strong songs. Oh, yeah. They're really good, funny songs.
And that plays out here. I mean, this is very much a Lonely Island movie. Because when the other two aren't on the screen, you can tell they're still behind all those songs.
Which is great.
And the songs are fantastic. I definitely liked this a lot better than Andy Samberg's other big movie.
Did I give Hot Rod?
That's my boy.
Oh, Hot Rod. How about Hot Rod?
Okay. Which was directed by Akiva Schaffer, who directed this. Co-directed this. I have a soft spot for Hot Rod.
Okay.
But I will say, I went to a press screening of that movie with a friend of mine from work, and we were the only two people laughing during the entire screening.
All right.
And
I did not care for Hot Rod.
Okay, I totally understand that.
The Hot Rod did not work for me. I don't loathe it, but it did not work for me.
It was one of those ones that went so weird in some places that I laughed really hard. But I totally get that it is not everyone's cup of tea. Oddly enough, going back to another connection in this episode, the only other time that happened where me and the same friend were the two people laughing at a press screening was the Will Forte, Will Arnett movie, The Brothers Solomon. Which, again, is a movie that I understand. I get it. But it makes me laugh pretty hard.
All right, there you go.
But
Will Forte makes me laugh.
Will Forte's great. I loved Last Man on Earth, the TV show he did.
He did these... so I remember seeing... I can't remember who was being interviewed. But it was an SNL person being asked... and they were asked, what makes Lorne laugh? Because Lorne never appears to, Lorne doesn't break when he's on screen. And the person said, so at the time, and this is really obscure SNL stuff, do you remember Zell Miller?
No.
Okay.
No,
so Zell Miller was an old Southern Democrat.
Okay.
Who, became famous in a brief period in the early 90s. When Will Forte was on the show, or maybe by the time Obama was maybe 2000, I'm forgetting. But he would go and he would freak out on the air. He would get really angry, and he was this old Southern guy, and he'd get really worked up.
Okay.
At one point, he challenged Chris Matthews to a duel.
Oh, wow.
He literally said, "I wish I could duel you." And so Will Forte started doing him on Saturday Night Live. And when he would do it, he would, and again, this is not going to work. It's a podcast. I apologize. Find a clip. He would lock his neck muscles so that you could see the veins start to pop out on his neck. And he would do it and start screaming. He would do it so intensely that Will Forte's face would turn eggplant red, purple. And they said, this makes Lorne Michaels crack up. When he takes it that far, that breaks Lorne up on the set.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love Will Forte.
Yes.
Who, he does have a bit part in Popstar.
Oh, yeah, I gotta see this.
But I'm not going to spoil that because...
I gotta see this.
The simple appearance is just wonderful. I highly recommend Popstar. It's one of those movies that I hope it will catch on and get a cult following, but it's so hard for them to do that these days. Everything is streaming. If it's not on streaming, it doesn't catch up. And I don't know, it made me wish, between that and MacGruber, I feel like the SNL movies that are kind of edgy, because I would count this as kind of an SNL adjacent movie. Because Lonely Island made so much of it. I feel like there's a market to really push the boundaries of what they do on SNL in the movies. But people don't seem to respond to that.
No, there are a lot of very good SNL movies that were utterly ignored.
Yeah, and...
I'm a big fan of Stuart Saves His Family. That's a fabulous movie. You'd like it. It's and it is as much a drama as a comedy.
Okay.
And it takes the recovery stuff of Stuart Smalley really seriously. And it's... While still being funny. I mean, it's not...
Yeah.
I don't mean to imply that it's...
I think because it came and went. And I would relegate it to, it's Pat the movie. It's just like, it's Pat, or Coneheads, and... I do
the Ladies' Man.
I do remember Coneheads. This is turning into an SNL podcast. Whatever, I like it. It's a bonus. You're getting 2 episodes in one. I remember for my birthday when I was a teenager telling my parents they had to take me to go see the Coneheads movie for my birthday. I didn't do anything else but go see the Coneheads movie because it was going to be hilarious. And it was not. and we were the only 4 people in the movie theater. And it was not good.
You think it's terrible, and then you watch A Night at the Roxbury.
Oh gosh, no, I haven't even... I think that might have released me from any interest in SNL movies.
It's a dreadful film.
Because I did not see Superstar, the Molly Shannon one.
I did. It's problematic. I was not a bad... It's got funny stuff in it, but it doesn't hold for a whole movie.
Yeah, I didn't see Roxbury. I didn't see Ladies' Man. Even though I liked the Ladies' Man sketch. But it did strike me as one of those things like, I don't think there's a movie here.
It's not going to work.
Maybe I got interested because I heard, Julianne Moore's in it.
Yeah.
And then I read what Julianne Moore does. I'm like, how late is that? Let's let me keep her dignity. So just curious, I'm just tossing this out there. Do you have 4 favorite SNL movies?
Yeah. I'd have to, I don't want to give you an off the cuff answer. I'd really want to answer this. I care enough.
We will be back next week with a new episode. And until then, I'm Chris Williams.
I'm Perry.
And we'll see you again.